Hi everybody and welcome to part 3 of my Alsace series. So in part 1 and 2 we've discussed the geography and the grapes of Alsace, we've discussed the appellations, and so today we're just going to talk about the actual wine. So what is the style of Alsatian wine? Well, as we've mentioned in the previous videos, there are 10 grape varieties permitted to make Alsatian wine. And of those 10 grapes, 9 of them are white. So as you can imagine, white wine is king in this region. And so there are some really, really great examples of varietal wine. There is a lot of aromatic grapes on that list. If you want to check out exactly which 10 grapes are permitted, I mentioned that in part 1, and it's also in the blurb. So if you want to just read the blurb, you can see the list of the 10 grapes. But yeah, a lot of those white grapes are very aromatic. So obviously a key one would be Gewurtztraminer. And it isn't very common at all for grapes, for wine to be oaked. So oak treatment is not a regular thing in Alsace, and that's why a lot of people recommend Alsatian wine for somebody who wants to try a grape variety they've never experienced before, because you are likely to really get a very pure expression of whatever variety that is. So one grape variety that I would recommend if you were watching this and you wanted to try an Alsace wine would be Pinot Gris, because Pinot Gris is actually the same grape variety as Pinot Grigio, which is very well known all over the world, but it's just the Alsatian version. So it's really worth seeking out a Pinot Gris, because firstly, it's one of the four noble grapes. Okay, so that means of those 10 grapes, it is often made by some of the best producers. It might even be a Grand Cru. You could look for an Alsace Grand Cru AC with Pinot Gris as the main varietal. The only varietal. So you could look for a Pinot Gris. And that's the kind of grape that sometimes people are really pleasantly surprised by, because they might have tried Pinot Grigio, but they've never tried Pinot Gris. And it's kind of same but different, because it's obviously got the influence of the Alsatian climate, which is cool, and so there's different notes on the nose and on the palate, so it's a completely different experience to Pinot Grigio, and so that would be something I would recommend, and also maybe look for a blend as well, so that you can see how all the grapes are together. I mean, the main four noble grapes, I think they are worth trying on their own. But if you'd rather go for a blend, it might be cheaper, because rather than buy an Alsace Grand Cru AC, you could buy an Alsace AC, which happens to be a blend. But just do some research, look into some producers. I'm hoping to do one of my next videos. I will try and do a specific video about one of the Grand Cru producers. So hopefully you can take something from that as well. Cheers.